What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, I'm really excited because we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Per usual, we tend to do a lot of weird different things here on the Daily Grind, but legitimately what we're going to be taking a look at is all of the ghoul entries. Now, for those of you guys who did not know, and I was tipped off by my beautiful, wonderful Discord about this, that there was some sort of tie-in to Khora's lore from the ghoul entries after you've completed every single one of them. So I was like, alright, we gotta get down to business, we gotta defeat the Huns, and we gotta go ahead and get our ghoul entries. Now, for those of you who don't know, these are all available through encrypted journals that you can pick up from the ghoul bounties that are found from Khonsu during this event. Basically, they just drop as uncommon drops, and you kind of just gotta cross your fingers that RNG loves you and will give them to you. However, if you don't feel like doing that, you can just kind of stay tuned for this video and get all of the voice lines out of it. Now, I actually kind of had to restart recording this video because I didn't realize it was going to be so difficult to find the little clicky bits. But we'll go ahead and jump from each. The only one that I've heard so far is the Devourer one, and that took I'm really bad at all of this zooming and clicking and stuff, so it took me a while to figure out where it is, but we're gonna go ahead and jump from each one. I haven't experienced any of the ones past the Devourer, so we'll see exactly how that goes. So without ado, let's jump right on it. Okay, it always infuriates me because I have absolutely no goddamn clue where it is. Legitimately, it feels like just blind clicking, hoping that I land on it somewhere, which I think is going to be the thing that kills me the most.
Every living thing longs to be whole. Every living thing yearns to defy death. If from death you returned, yet the part you loved best did not, what then?
Are you talking about my dick, or are you talking about my hair? Because if I did not have one of those, I would definitely feel a little bit wronged. I'd be like, listen, I wanted eternal life, but what kind of life? I could get a wig. I think a wig might solve that. How about, but the dick issue might be a little bit rough. Now let's go ahead and read the journal entry real fast before we move on to the next. So this whole first one was talking about what happens if you come back, but you don't come back quite whole. We all want to live forever, but what if there's a cost? So, for the Devourer entry, it says, it came through the wall. All I remember is the roar, the open maw, the rank foulness of its breath, the lolling tongue, and the way two of my friends were crushed between it and our grain silo. The way it seemed to fall in love with tearing them apart over and over and over. At least he's having fun. I mean, I don't know what he lost maybe in a previous life, but he seems to still be enjoying himself, so that's a good thing, right? Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, and hopefully this one's a little bit easier for me to spot than this one. Okay, so this one is up in this corner somewhere. Let's see how this goes.
My name is Sigor Savar, morphology specialist with Nef Anyo's Venusian terraforming expedition. I was tasked with decoding the Orokin gene record of what had once been a preserve, and reviving select specimens for study. This is an account of my encounter with lifeform VK7, a larger-than-average Kavat specimen possessed of atypical behavioral characteristics. Specimen VK7, unlike the others, did not come from a gene record. She was found, frozen, in a sealed closet close to the environmental control station. Her unassuming tomb for millennia. Here, then, was an intact example of Orokin-era fauna. I was Corpus, a scientist second and a businessman first. VK7, an Orokin strain Kavat of unusual size and patterning. Well, I could think of several members of the nobility who would pay a fortune for such a thing. Enough to buy a handsome slice of any planetoid of my choosing.
What did this man just say? This Venari. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I believe, oh my god, I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but I believe that Venari is the name of Khora's pet, or at least the default name of Khora's pet. I don't know if you can change the name or whatnot, but that sounds like this man just found fucking Venari. And apparently Venari is like legit Orokin like animal. It's like not like some sort of replication. It's not like, you know how we replicated the Warframes, and that's how we have the standard Warframes, and then the Orokin based Warframes are like the Prime Warframes. So this is like legit like dinosaur kitty. The Venari is legit dinosaur kitty breed. So my only thing is, we found Venari. What about Khora? Where's that coming from? Why is it VK7? Is it like Venari Khora? I don't know, but regardless, he found them. Oh, I'm really excited. I know that we gotta read this Augur installation, but legitimately, as soon as he said, and did you hear? He said the Venusian planetary thing. You know that Venus is like the next planet that DE is gonna be working on landscapes for. Oh, bitch, DE is doing tons. Okay, let me read this Augur entry. Its arms shot forward, the drills ratcheting outwards, passing in and out of Horvath's body like it was nothing. Ooh, I don't know if I really want to read these anymore. I can still hear the screech of the drills, the maddening chatter of its teeth, and Hovarth's screams. Ooh, not pleasant. I mean, but the smile is, he's always smiling. He always has a little happy smile on his face, so it's nice to know that, you know, he's employed doing a job that, you know, he loves, right? Maybe not the guy, maybe not this sad Hovarth guy, but this guy, you know, dinosaur kava. Ah! Where is it, D? Where is it? Just hand over the tray.
Corpse laid on a dissection rack, ready for a full surgical examination. Then, like any animal dreaming, the paw twitched. I glanced at the vital scanner, expecting to see some anomalous electrical reaction taking place, contracting ancient muscles, but no.
Come to life!
What I saw there was a beating heart.
Yes, Venari!
I did not revive specimen VK7.
It revived itself!
Before my eyes, she willed herself back to life. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen.
You better worship that pussy! Oh my
Some
god.
speak of feeling a connection to something greater than themselves. To which I laughed, as any right-thinking corpus would. Life is profit, profit is life. But in that moment, watching that animal claw her way out of death's dark pit, though I did not admit it to myself, something in me was forever changed.
Oh, I got chills. But I'm worried now. I'm worried because the story early on, okay, notice, the very first entry had nothing to do with Venari. But that first entry was saying, you know, what happens when you come back to life and you're missing something? What if the thing it's missing is Khora? No, wait, hold on, let's retract. But you know, you're saying, you know, what if the best part of you is gone? So what if that means that Venari is coming back, but Venari is going to be angered? Venari is not going to be in a pretty happy state. I don't know. I will see what happens. Let's read the expired part anyway. It came to me wailing like a lost screaming for help, then it wrapped its clay cold arms around me, and here I am, barely anything left of me now, lying in this bed except a few stories and the memory of its face like a newborn child. I know! I noticed that too. I was like, look at its little cute face. You just want to pinch its cheeks after you sever its limbs so that it doesn't explode on you. You know, it's a good thing. So now I'm very curious to see what happens after Venari comes back to life. This is is it gonna be soulless? Is it gonna be angry? Let's find out. I don't know if like two things need to line up or something, or what is going on.
I found her sharp gaze unsettling. The way she would watch my every move from her cage unnerved me.
Don't put the cat in a cage!
When a visitor came, I would watch VK7 studying their habits.
Ooh.
In time, she came to anticipate regular arrivals, having memorized their schedules.
She's learning.
On the morning of my 4th shift, I entered my laboratory to find her cage door open and VK7 gone.
You done Fucked up!
One consequence of breathing life back into a world is unintentionally resurrecting life forms and viruses one finds less desirable. The infestation is both of those things. Reports returned of some hive sites found destroyed, and then of a large beast found at others. An animal intelligent enough to learn and react to corpus behaviors and patterns. Some claimed it had learned to measure ammunition expenditure to better attack when a target was most vulnerable. Needless to say, almost none who attacked the beast survived. This had to be specimen VK7.
This you done fucked up. Maybe you shouldn't be shooting at it because it's eating the infested hives. Did you listen? You just said the infested. You were having some issues with the infested. You didn't like them. So guess what? You know, specimen VK7 went and ate those goddamn hives. So why are you shooting at it? But maybe, sir, you should have gone and told these people that you had brought some, like, Orokin level kitty back from the dead. Well, she came back herself. Venari said, no, this is my day. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time. And I'm about to go eat some infested hives. Y'all don't fuck with me. So that's why you don't shoot at the kitty. Because now the kitty knows when y'all are reloading, I'm coming for those hands. And you did. Oh, we have to read Rictus. I forgot. I'm so involved with the story that I'm like not even reading you guys these entries. Kazu gave us standing orders, shoot the Sawmen first. We'd seen what they had done to our brothers and sisters. That was not gonna happen to us. Yeah, getting sawed alive isn't necessarily something so pleasant. I mean, it's gotta be weird though, being sawed alive by someone so happy. It's almost like, it's weird because the ghouls are almost kind of like clown-like. You know what I mean? That they're kind of like it, but also like zombie versions of it because they're so joyous when they're trying to take you apart piece by piece. You know? I mean, it's probably not the most pleasant thing to look at when you die, but legitimately, it's a thing. Let's get back to the more important part of the story. Let's take a look at the kitty stuff. Are you putting it on her boob? Is that where you're trying
to join with a flamer team already deployed to a nearby hive. Both team and hive were dead when I arrived, killed by tooth and claw. Fearing for my life, I made to leave, and was apprehended by the sight of a low figure blocking my egress. Specimen VK7. She prowled forward from the shadow of a shattered, snow-blown hive, her paw prints red with blood.
Good.
I made to open a comm channel to request assistance. VK7 growled low, and I swear this to be true, slowly shook her head.
She's like, you dumbass.
I did not make that call. She padded closer, and I saw the wound on her side. She turned that side toward me, an act of trust, and a request for aid.
Oh, poor kitty.
I unpacked my field kit and carefully went to work.
They're gonna be best friends. They're gonna be best friends forever. Oh, I'm so excited. It's like a story. It's like a happy story of love and joy. Hi, kitty. How are you doing? Let me pet you better. Oh, all right. Let's read this ghoul thing. It's so heartwarming, but also so massacre-y. I mean, you know, they're kind of doing this in a field of dead, infested, and other corpus people, which probably isn't the most pleasant. But you know, it's a story of love nonetheless. Let's continue to read on with the ghouls. I came to the Eidolon Plains not to explore horror, but to lay rest an ancient mystery. It would seem horror had something to say regardless. The ghouls, grown in darkness, beneath the feet of the enemy, born to fight, to kill, and to die. Truly, of all places horror may call home, it's most comfortable within the imaginings of men. Ooh. I like that thought a lot. It's kind of like a little bit of throwback to when they were talking about Necros Prime, and they were saying, imagining your name on a grave strikes fear in the hearts of men. It's kind of like that thought of impending doom. I like that little throwback, and a little art change up over here that we've got going on. Regardless, let's continue on with the love story of this Kavat and this I guess, field researcher.
I did not report my experience with specimen VK7. I could not admit why then. But now I can tell you.
Okay.
I felt it would have violated a trust. There I was, a morphology specialist, sworn to the Corpus Empire, and yet, for reasons entirely illogical, I placed loyalty to a wild animal above my life oath.
Because you love them.
Every doctrine that values self-interest above charity. But keep that confidence I did.
Because she could kill you. Don't forget that.
That is why VK7 brought me the hand.
The hand? What do you mean the hand? Wait. Okay. Is this like Khora's hand, maybe? Like the part so that you could recreate Khora? Is that what you mean by the hand? Is that what you're saying? Because all I got is she brought you a hand. And she trusts you? So she brought you... I don't know why I'm getting so loud. But I'm getting emotional. Alright, overwhelming numbers. The ghouls are designed to a simple philosophy. Victory assured through overwhelming numbers and the element of surprise. I guess. Sure. I mean, it's not so surprising when you see these big-ass burial mounds on the ground. You're like, oh, that's a lump that's not supposed to be there. Not too surprising. Maybe you could have done a better job like burying them level to the ground so that they were less conspicuous. I'm just saying it's not really surprising when you see a massive mound and you're like, probably a ghoul. Just putting that out there, so I don't know who they're surprising. Maybe they used to do a better job of burying shit, but legitimately as it stands, you come up to a burial mound and you're like, they're probably here. That's just my experience. But I gotta find out what the hell is going on with this hand. Is it Khora's hand? Do we have some really nice manicured nails? What's going on? I hate this. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you could just make things glow a little bit as we approached it, or maybe did some like audio pulses.
Somehow, she had managed to infiltrate the facility, bypass 2 different security gates, and had gained entry to my laboratory without raising an alarm or my awareness. She held in her jaws a severed hand. Blackened, fossilized, gently, she laid it before me and, with a meaningful glance, turned, padded away into the shadows, and was gone. I analyzed the hand. What I learned that night, alone in my laboratory, would become an obsession to focus the remainder of my life.
Okay, why you gotta leave it right there? Number 1, Kitty, communication issues. He clearly understands what's going on with you. And number 2, I guess, after some assessment, he figured out what the fuck was going on. But legit, it's fossilized. So, Kitty's a dinosaur. I'm assuming Khora's a dinosaur too. Just putting that out there. So let's go ahead and read A Tide of Claws and Flesh. Sudden terror, the element of surprise. Not really. And cheaply bought. I mean, we could tell their outfits don't look that great. Ghouls are shock troops fast grown in diapause bags, cultured from repurposed Grenier gene slurry. So it's like baby batter, but they mixed it up with some other shit. I'm just saying. The key to victory is quantity over quality, a tide of claws and flesh to crush any enemy foolish enough to stand before it. Or to stand in these... That's why they said foolish, because we see your mouths. It's not hard. I mean, literally, if we wanted to, we could probably, set those aflames ahead of time. But, we're dealing with fools here that don't necessarily plan ahead. Regardless, I want to see what kind of progress he makes, because it feels like he got himself step 1 of the Khora blueprint. Where is this one? Is it in his eye?
The hand was of Orokin construction. Emphasis on that last word. Whoever the original possessor had been, they were born of no mother. In the past, I had been privileged to read some of Alad V's treatises on Warframes, and there could be no mistake. What I held was the hand of one of those very creatures. And one Anyocorp had no record of. Therefore, my first task was to extract a working blueprint, or as near as possible, from the sampled cellular makeup. One word recurred again and again. The word that had once been her name. Khora. Khora.
Oh! It's Khora, girl! Number 1, he said Alad V. Alad V, listen, I'm very comforted by the sound of his voice. I think, this Sigurd person, which I'm assuming is his name, Sigurd Sava, do some ASMR. Call me up, listen, we could put you on YouTube, do some ASMR for me, I would be into it. And Alad V, I was like, never heard of that before. But it says, born of no mother. They said that it had a cellular structure, which I guess metals can have a cellular structure too. But a part of me is kind of like, clearly the Warframes have some sort of organic portion to them. And he's gonna make us some Khora. It's weird though, like where did the cellular structure have Khora scribbled on it somewhere? Were the cells singing? Were they like Khora, Khora? What do you mean? It's like it was saying the same name, Khora. I was like, last time I checked, cellular structures, unless you arrange them in the way that a fucking alphabet goes, that's the only way you're gonna read Khora. I'm just saying. It's a little bit off to me. Story is not checking out. I'm gonna need to see the Carfax on that. But hey, however we get to that point in the story, that's all that matters. Let's read Dr. Tengus. While not of War's design, the general use is the ghouls to good effect. Credit for the development, these horrors go to none other than Dr. Tengus, the father of the infamously unstable Grustrag 3, developed in his laboratories against the wishes of Vor himself, and with the funding of a certain ill-fated counselor. The ghouls are Tengus's growing achievement. They have secured the Doctor's place in the good graces of the Grineer's queens. Which, I mean, someone gotta be in the good graces of the Grineer queens, cause we know what happened to Vor. Vor got his ass kicked out. He was like, we're done with you. I'm sure that Mr. Vahek is probably not on their good graces either, cause he gotta keep making those turkeys, over and over and over again. So she's probably a little pissed. The only people that I think that the queens are kind of sort of cool with is this Dr. Tengus and, what is this? Not Sargus. I mean, maybe Sargus Ruck. He's always mad, but he isn't getting into much these days, is he? We got, what's the other one? The one with the big fist. Come on. They gotta like themselves a little bit. Oh my god. I forgot what his name is. The guy with the nice butt and the big fist. You know what I'm talking about. Upside down face, man. Him. Those are the only two people that I really think the queens are like, hey, you could probably make me another body at some point, so keep doing what you're doing. That's how they make babies. The queens ain't making babies themselves. They're making slurry creatures. Regardless, let's go ahead and see exactly what is going on with... I wonder if he makes Khora by the end of this, and if he has some sort of interaction with her. Exciting. Where are you?
I was convinced. Specimen VK7 wanted Khora resurrected.
Me too, bitch!
Why else bring the hand to me? Why trust me with this sole remaining piece of a lost Orokin warrior? The evidence of such rich, nuanced cognition on the part of an animal. That was the real treasure here. The value of which, I knew, would be lost on my superiors. VK7 would be hunted down and, at best, captured for testing.
They wouldn't be able to do it.
At worst. Well. Therefore, I told them none of this.
Good on you, sir.
To no avail.
Oh. Wait. So they must have found VK? No. They better not do nothing to that kitty. That kitty could fuck him up, though. That kitty could fuck him up. I am trusting the cat to take care of itself. Just like my own cat. I trust it to take care of itself. You're okay, right, baby? He's fine. He's sleeping by the radiator. Regardless, I don't like that whole to no avail thing that you put out there. So let's go ahead and get strength in numbers out of the way. Ghouls are far from the finest of Grineer troops, but what they lack in martial skill, they make up for in sheer horrifying volume. Yes, they are quite loud. They are very, very loud. Those chainsaws and that cackling, a little too much for me sometimes. But you know what? I record YouTube videos at 3 a.m., so I really can't. I really can't judge anybody for their volume. Regardless, let's go and see what happens to the kitty. I hope it's okay. Having to find the exact right part, like, pisses me off. Okay, that's nothing. It's clearly somewhere here.
Specimen VK7 was tracked to a box canyon 4.3 clicks south-southwest of the atmosphere processing station. The horror of the hives, as she had come to be known, had been deemed unworthy of study.
No!
Destroyed in her lair.
Okay, she's not dead yet.
I positioned myself at the entrance to her cave home and waited.
Girl!
To doom myself in the name of some imagined ideal. My own voice screamed in my head. What are you doing? What are you doing? Once, not so long before, I was a man who would have sold this animal for profit.
But she's so beautiful!
Now I stood in the freezing cold, surrendering all I had for... some would say nothing.
Now it's for the pussy!
I would say... something greater than myself.
Oh, Venari!
They came, picking their way through the snow, heads bowed, pushing against a numbing, slashing wind that froze skin and carried my voice to them. I begged them to stop, pleading VK7's case, with a bomb in my hand.
Oh,
It
no.
went about as well as you'd expect. They did not listen.
Oh no.
Numsol is employed, traditionally, as an animal tranquilizer, but converts to an aerosol easily enough. The canister rolled from my fingers and erupted in a geyser of brown-green gas, thrown towards the hunters by that roaring wind, bathing them.
What did he do?
I am a better scientist than saboteur.
What did he do?
Their respirators dealt with the Numsol as handily as every
Oh.
other contaminant.
He
I was
tried!
promptly arrested. But VK7 did escape. I achieved that much.
Yes! Good job! You suck, but good job! You didn't think about the respirators. Maybe you could have EMP pulsed their asses or something? Come on! EMP pulse would have solved it. Their respirators would have shut down. They would have died. Well, I mean, maybe you didn't want to kill them, but I'm just saying you're a scientist. You know about the electronics. You would have probably thought about that ahead of time. But Venari's still alive. Good babies. We got you. Let's finish up the shock troops real fast. Ghouls are deployed in advance of regular Grineer troops. Before then, those troops must keep the ghouls sated, lest they turn upon those who failed to feed them. Well, you know, sometimes you need to get the Snickers bar because you're not yourself when you don't have a Snickers. I don't really like Snickers though. I prefer Three Musketeers, but that's just me. It's too much nuts. I know you're thinking, bad gay, you must love the nuts, but legitimately, to each their own. Regardless, so Venari's out on the loose now, probably pissed. Probably gonna start stalking some of these Corpus dumbasses because legit, he didn't even realize that Venari came into his office, that she was like slinking around past guards and all that kind of stuff. So now they fucked. Because now she knows that they're trying to fuck with them, and she knows better because she's learning. So I expect some Corpus dead bodies real soon. That's probably on the menu next. I don't want to say menu after I just said Snickers. This is why I can't do sponsorships. This one's in Excalibur. Is it in Excalibur?
The atmosphere processor wasn't made for imprisonment or interrogations, but the lack of facilities did not prevent them performing both. bound and beaten in maintenance closet A5. I told them everything. It doomed me. Zil, the oxygen tech from Reclamation 3, had a previous career in psychological operations for some branch of the military. Therefore, he had been selected to administer to me, to interview me, and, ultimately, to execute me.
An oxygen
Barrel
specialist?
pressed to my forehead. Zil said he would prefer it if I did not look at him. Obliging as ever, I closed my eyes. There was a sharp crack, then nothing more. I opened my eyes.
It's a whip!
Lay dead at my feet, limp, throat clasped in VK7's jaws.
Yes! Yes!
I was corpus no longer. Remaining on Venus would be death for both of us. We had to escape.
Woo! Okay, I was thinking when he said there's a crack, I don't know how it would have happened, how he had made a Khora, but legitimately as soon as I heard a crack I was like, a crack of the whip, and I was like, bitch, you ain't gonna die. You're writing this. He's not gonna be dead. And something that I also just learned, as you probably saw me squidging through the screen, you don't gotta click on anything, you just gotta hover on the right spot. This is why I don't do lore stuff. Regardless, it's getting good. Get him, Venari. Alright, let's do Born to Die real fast. Especially degenerate ghoul specimens are employed as suicide troops. You mean the babyface ones? Oh, that's mean. That's mean. Actually, I think that they're the only ones that are like... I think that they're the only ones that explode and kill themselves, right? Yeah, well, you know what? Listen. You died once. You came back. I'm sure they could just slurry you back. They just take your little bits. They just grab the bits and they just put it back into the sack you came out of. Sprinkle some of that baby batter in there. Just zip it up, put you back in the ground. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Regardless, let's see if he does end up making a Khora by the end of this. But I don't know how he would pilot a Khora because he's not an operator. We'll just have to see how it all pans out. Oh, I can feel it. We got 2 panels left though. We've got 2
Together we made for an automated cargo relay. One that would ferry us anonymously to the hold of a Solaris rail tractor in geosynchronous orbit and away from Venus. How well she guided me, circumnavigating patrols and security cameras. But, inevitably, my former comrades calculated our likely destination and closed in, rapidly. Plasma blasts lanced the air from both sides of the hangar. I bundled myself into the nearest open conveyor. Bound for orbit, a waste of time, I knew. We had reached our means of escape, but had no hope of achieving it. Troopers and mowers closed in a classic pincer movement. Sparks and near misses flashed hot against my face. In moments, our conveyance would be destroyed, and us along with it. And my only thought was heartbreak, for how badly I had failed her. In that final moment, VK7 did something that will stay with me for the rest of my days. With one of her meaningful glances, the last we would ever share.
Oh no!
I reared up and activated the conveyor. My pod's door slammed shut.
Oh
outside
no!
my viewport, she leapt toward the enemy. Before I could slap the release and free myself, the mag rails activated, and I was hauled out of the complex, skyward, and into orbit.
Oh no, Kitty saved him!
Saved, leaving her behind.
Oh no, maybe? Oh no! I don't like this story anymore. This needs to go into that directory, you know, where it's kind of like the dog dies at the end website, where it's like, you don't need to watch these movies because the dog dies in them. I did not need this DE. This needs to be put in that directory. Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know. Because she saved him. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's dead. Because she's a killing machine, and she's also a stealth machine. You know, she's like a little Loki action. She can get around, and she can get out of those places, so we never know. Maybe she'll radial disarm the Moas. I don't know, because I've never played with one of those cats before, but we'll see. Let's knock out Unstoppable, and let's get to the end of the story. They are incapable of fear, relentless. you know, that was quick and to the point. I appreciate that. DE probably knew. This is where the story gets good. Let's just keep it short so that Rob can go ahead and move on to the next slide. Bitch, if this cat does not live, I'm gonna be so upset. I will throw a fit. I will throw a petition to DE to write the end of this lore. Cause this cat needs to live. This cat needs to live. Where is it? I'm gonna have a moment. I'm gonna call up Taylor. I'm gonna call up Rebecca. I'm gonna be like, y'all killed the cat. Y'all can't kill the cat. Do not kill the goddamn cat or I'm a fucking flip. You can't. You can't. You lied to me and you broke my heart right at the beginning of the new year. Where is this goddamn little opening thing? It's gotta be... Are you somewhere? Where are you? I'm just gonna jingle...
That was, well, many years ago now. I have spent my life attempting to locate Khora's remains. Contacts inform me she was found, fused but intact, within the Orican terraforming complex itself, and shipped off-world via a notorious Solaris rail agent, who subsequently vanished.
Oh, good.
I now believe, firmly, that her remains are to be found on the Eidolon Plains. I go there now, entrusting these encrypted logs to my old friend, Konzu, for safekeeping. There I shall put a lifetime of searching to rest. I have never doubted that VK7 survived Venus. And to this day, I still believe that, before I leave this life forever, I shall one day look up from my writings to find a familiar figure standing in my doorway, alongside her Kavat.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry!
I am Sigor Savar, a better man, as it turns out, than a scientist.
Oh, it's so beautiful! It's so emotional! Ugh! So now we know, like, Khora is definitely on the plane somewhere. We don't think that VK7 is deaded. You're fine. You're fine. Somewhere, because this is what I think. Like, that guy got his hands on the, like, the Khora blueprint or the whatever it is, and then he disappeared. I think that was the cat's doing. I think the cat came out the cuts and fucked him the hell up, and now her remains are somehow on the plains. By the way, did they ever say whether this Sigor Savat person is still alive? Because legitimately, he sounded kind of cute. He sounds like I might need to give him a call. I'm like, Konzu, listen, you have your happily ever after. Let me find my happily ever after. Listen, I've been good friends with the corpus. I'm down with that ergo glass life right now. This one, you can't listen. I'm new year, new me, new goals, new man. I'm just saying. So we could get us Khora, we could get ourselves double Kavats, and Rob can get a man for the new year. This is what I've been looking for. This is how I want to start the new year. I am excited. New prospects, left, right, and center, regardless. Oh, we should probably finish up a new phase. Look at that. We're talking about new years, new phases. Let's see. Massive casualties may have been inflicted upon mass ranks of ghouls without showing their advance. This is a new phase in the Grenier campaign for dominance in the origin system. One that has increased the stakes for every sentient being who calls it home. We'll be fine. We'll have Khora soon. Don't be tripped. Sigor, baby. Sigor Savat. I got you. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna get my Khora. I'm gonna get my Kavat. You and me are gonna have drinks. You know, listen. We'll find a nice little bar in Cetus. We'll hang out a little bit, okay? We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be a good new year. Regardless, let me know how you guys feel about all of the lore that was here today. Let me know if you are super, super hyped to see Khora coming out on the plains as well. If you think, let me know if my man's still alive. Because, you know, I don't follow the lore as closely as I probably should have. But legit, let me know if I can expect a date for this year. Alright? Oh, and that about does it for me. So as always, leave your feelings in the comments below. And love somebody. Maybe Sigor Savat. No, Sigor Savat is mine. That's who I'm gonna love. You can find somebody else to love, okay? Hurt nobody. And touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.